Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to have you all here, and if you are new, thank you for stopping by my channel, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And today's video is going to be all about how to take photos and what I believe is the best way to take photos for your Poshmark and Mercari closet. Now let's get started. First thing I'm going to discuss is hangers. Now, I like to use the exact same hanger in every single one of my photos for my shirts. So I have just this plain wooden hanger with a little metal top here. I like to use these for my dresses, my shirts, blazers, jackets, whatever top, I like to use this hanger. And then for any pants or skirts or whatever bottoms need to be hung, shorts, I like to use this metal one with these two clamps. So typically, if you look, and now my old photos obviously are way different because I was just starting out on the platform, but typically my photos, you'll see this for tops and these for bottoms. So I would suggest my number one thing would be to stay consistent with the hangers that you are using, because it just gives a consistency and an overall appearance that is cohesive and it's not kind of like all over the place. So I think having the same hanger in all of your photos just makes it look a lot nicer. The next thing would be to really capture all of the details of the item. So I'm going to use this, and I do have this available in my Poshmark and Mercari closet, but I am going to use this Maeve shirt as an example. And basically what I would really want to get details of is the pleating in this shirt. So as you can see, this is a detail that people might be interested in, specifically a shirt that has these the pleating in it. So that's something I would definitely get a photo of, is the detailing of the pleating. Now, if you have a shirt that has some embellishments or it has some jewels on it, any detail that you see, definitely take a photo of. And if you're able to try on the item, definitely try to capture how that detail plays into effect. So here, you know, I would try to like flare out this so they can see that the pleating is in the detail of the shirt. So that's a big one for me, is making sure you capture any detail, whether it's small or it's large. That's very important so that the customer can see that, and typically if that's what they're looking for, then they're more willing to purchase from you. Next thing to really consider is taking photos of the label. This is very important because people want to make sure that they're actually buying the brand that it says in the listing. A lot of times we will see that people might have leggings under Lululemon, but they're actually not Lululemon at all, which is very frustrating because you're basically lying to the customer and you're just trying to make it come up in the search, and that's not okay. It's going against Poshmark's rules. You should not be labeling an item if it is not the actual brand. So definitely always have the right brand. Now, this is an Anthropologie brand, so some people will put Anthropologie, but some people will put Maeve as the brand for the item. So always make sure you get the brand. The next thing I would take a picture of is getting the size. So this one you can see here is a size 8. It also says made in Indonesia, which is something that some people are interested in. They might want something that's only made in America, only made in Turkey, you know, whatever country that they're interested in. So I would include that if possible. Another really important part to capture is the label that shows what the material is in the item. So this one is 100% polyester, and a lot of people do like to know what is in the fabric because they want to know if it shrinks, if it'll be really wrinkly. You know, there's a lot of things that come into play with material. And also it has machine wash cold with light colors tumble dry low. So it tells you how to take care of the item. And a lot of people do want to know that before purchasing, because that's something that they would look up if they were actually shopping in person versus online. The next thing that I would suggest to do, and this is something that I have a hard time doing, but I have seen other people do it, and I think that it is a very smart decision. If you have extra time on your hands, I would consider taking a photo of the measuring tape measuring the actual item. Now, this isn't necessary. You don't have to do this, but it is an extra step if you want to be extra cautious with your measurements, because some people, and I've had this happen to me, that's why I'm saying this, I've had someone tell me that the measurement was incorrect, but it was the correct measurement. And if I had a photo of the measurement up against the garment showing that, yes, this is with like the ruler right here, the measurement here, showing that yes, this is the length or width, whatever, then there's no way that Poshmark, they wouldn't be able to move forward with the case in someone else's favor if they saw that you as the seller had the correct measurement because you took a photo with the actual measuring tape. So that's definitely something I would consider doing. I've never done that before, but I think it is definitely something to consider doing in the future, especially if you have the extra time on your hands, or if you have a virtual assistant, that might be something that they could really help you out with. Now, the next thing we are going to talk about is backgrounds. As you see here, I like to always have a very plain background in my videos because the attention I want you to have is on what I'm talking about, not chaos in the background. Now, that's the same thing with reselling on Poshmark or Mercari. You do not want to have a mess of a disaster in the background. You want to have a very plain background, as plain as possible, or you want to have something that really goes along with your brand. So a lot of people will have maybe a specific background, whether it is a color or whether it is a like wood, looks like wood or tile, or it will have like, for example, the Thrifty Flamingo always has a flamingo in their pictures, so maybe it's something like that. So there's signature backgrounds that you can have, or you can have just a plain background like this. And also people take photos in those like light boxes, so it'll just be like white background completely, and then you just see the garment or the shoe or whatever the case may be. So that's definitely something to consider, is having that plain background so that you're not drawing too much attention to whatever else is going on, and you really want to pay attention to the garment. So I'm going to just take you guys through exactly how I would take the photos, and this is not the best way to do it. It's not the 100% way to do it. It's just what I do, and it has worked well for me. Okay, you guys are gonna see like the light is super bright, but that's because it is dark in this room and this ring light is so bright. But I have my garment hung up on the door here, so I'm actually gonna flip it around so you guys can see how I would take the photos. I actually have it hung up on this little hook up here, and it's on the back of the door. So the door is a very plain background. I would prefer to have it over here, but I'm not going to put a hole in my wall. So here we have, I would first get a photo all the way from the back in square mode and get the entire image of the garment. Then I would get an image of this label right here and the size. And I would also go inside the garment and I would get a photo of the care tag. I would get a photo of this. I would also sometimes get a photo from the side so the person can see exactly the detailing here. And then I would get a photo of the close-up so they can see the detailing of the item. And that's it for the front of the item. Now, Poshmark allows up to 8 photos, so make sure you capture as many photos as possible. The next photo I would take is the back. So I would again do square mode of the entire back and square mode for every single photo because Poshmark only allows square mode. And I would also get from this side angle And then that's really it for this back part. There's not too much detailing. If there were detailing in the back, I would get, like if it had a bow or something, I would get a close-up photo of that. And also if there's any flaws, you definitely want to get a photo of any flaws. Like this string is hanging off. If you're not able to just cut it off, then you can, you know, share that in the photo description too. So definitely get a photo of every angle that you can and get as many up to 8 photos for Poshmark. Now that is everything that I would do to take photos for my listings on Poshmark and Mercari. And the very last thing I want to touch on is to make sure that you always take a picture of any flaws that the item has, whether it is a stain, whether it is a rip in the garment, whether it is a hole or pilling on like leggings or a sweater. Always take a photo of the flaws, because you do not want to have a case open against you. Make sure you always take a photo and write in the description box exactly what flaws that you have on your items, so that you never have to deal with this. Never have to deal with any Poshmark cases, and you always want to be authentic and real with whoever you are selling to. So I do hope that you all enjoyed this short little video on how I take my photos for my reselling business on Poshmark and Mercari. And comment down below, what do you do for your photos? Do you guys use a light kit? I do use a ring light. Do you use like a studio setup? What is your background like? I'd love to chat about it in the comment section down below. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.